She has dedicated over 15 years of her career to the field of addiction treatment, working as a counselor, coach, supervisor, group facilitator, and clinical manager. She has experience in both the inpatient and outpatient environments. Ivy has worked in a variety of treatment facilities, including Edgewood Health Network, Canada's premier addiction treatment and mental health provider, and Chatsworth Pavilion, internationally known exclusive residential treatment center. Let's see. Ivy's goal is to be there with you as a co-creator and co-navigator. With her help, you will find the best of yourself and design the most resilient life ever. When Ivy is not working, you can find her singing, playing guitar, cooking, chalk painting, watching movies, meditating, or hanging out with family and friends. So she's got a really good background in all of this. And hold on. This is Ivy's first time doing an interview, a Facebook Live interview. So there's always trying to figure out the kinks, which is why we figured we would come on now and figure this out before the interview starts tomorrow. But anyway, the point to all of this is I'm really excited to have Ivy on because of the fact that she is living the sober life. She did go through treatment herself, and she does help people who have been down in the dumps, who are really trying to take their lives back and really recreate their best lives. So she's kind of coming from a different angle and coming from the other side of helping people create their best lives after, having issues with drug addiction, because that's something that kind of follows you, for the rest of your life. Is something that you constantly have to work on. So to have someone, I really find, I was talking to someone the other day who was saying, I don't really understand you coaches. He said, every coach that I talk to, he said, is so, has so many issues themselves. I don't really understand how they can coach. And I said, well, those people shouldn't be coaching. Hi, Ivy. The people that are the ones who have gotten down in the dumps and have gotten to those dark places and have come out of it and are now more resilient than ever. That is the ones who've overcome it, not the ones who are still dealing with it. So, you want to have people that know what they're talking about. Because if not, how are they helping you? So you want to make sure that they're where you want to be. You want to look at where they are and say, hey, I want that person as my coach because I want to be doing what they're doing. I want to be living how they're living and be happy the way those people are. So when you are picking a coach, it really is important to look at those things and really figure out, hey, is this person doing what I want to be doing? If not, then maybe it's time to look for a different coach. All right, so I'm going to try to bring Ivy on. It's saying adding, so hopefully that will work. But does anybody have any questions that they might want to put out, even if you can't join tomorrow? Tomorrow we're going to be coming on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you, for some reason, don't get to actually make it on the live tomorrow, you can leave questions here and we'll make sure that we answer them tomorrow. Basically, what we're going to be looking at is she's going to give some resiliency tips. She's going to look at, so these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about. Stay in the attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is the perfect antidote to self-pity, loneliness, and boredom. Keep a daily gratitude journal to remind yourself of how much you already have in your life, which is definitely a good thing. And I definitely recommend that with my clients as well. Develop a strong sense of what you can and can't control. Basically, you can't control what other people do, only your reaction to them. Live by the 10-90 rule, 10% them, 90% you. And look for good support and accountability for your recovery. This can be a sponsor if you are in a 12-step program, a therapist, counselor, or coach. You'll possibly avoid potential disaster and you'll grow so much faster. So, and those are all the things that I say as well. You want to make sure that you are bringing people that are going to be a good part of your, hi Vasiliki, a good part of your team when you are looking for that added support. So, I always say a therapist is great, along with a coach is really helpful. And if you're doing a 12-step program, then throw that in there too. You want to have a team. It didn't take us overnight to get to this place that we're at. So we want to make sure that we have a team on our sides to help move us over to the other side. So the more support you have, the better chance of you having long-term, sobriety and help. So yay, Ivy.
Oh my God. I am a techno-cretin. I'm sorry. I may be very good with addicts and alcoholics, but don't give me technology.
Hey, I am not very good myself, and that's why I started doing it. So I'm seeing Sharon and Vasiliki, and I saw a few other people say hello. So, I got to share a little bit about you and, some of the details of what you're going to be sharing. And so I'm excited that we were able to figure it out, because I know it's stressful when you first are,
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, this is her first time doing this. So it's always a little bit like overwhelming when it's your first time. So I'm glad you figured it out.
Thank you.
You take a breath for a second, but if there's anything that you want to share of like some little tidbits to get people excited so they know what we're going to be talking about tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think really whether it's for you that might need it or other people, I mean, the topic of, codependency goes hand in hand with addiction. I mean, bam. So, your clients, my clients, they're hanging out with the same people. So what can you share with us, to get people and a little bit so that way they can come back tomorrow for more?
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit about, my story, my background. I'll be 27 years sober, coming this upcoming October. And my story is not one only of recovery from drugs and alcohol, but also from codependency. And I hit a big bottom way into recovery, not at the early. So it's all about, how we can transfer addictions, and you're never like really 100%. You always have to be maintaining. And also a couple of tips about if you are involved, if you have a loved one that is in active addiction. I think you told me that some people are also living with partners or have children that may have that. So maybe some tips on how to recognize that and how to to live properly when you have those kind of people in your life.
Excellent. Excellent. And I think that's going to be so helpful. So, if you know anyone that is dealing with addiction or has anyone they love that's dealing with addiction, I would strongly recommend telling them to come tomorrow, watch this video with Ivy. I think it's going to be some really great information. Like we started talking, it was like 2 months ago now, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And then I had to move. I mean, it's a lot of kind of, stuff happened. So, another thing is about how, addiction is not only about putting down the drug, living, a sober life completely and a full life. It's just, there's a lot of things involved in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so when I started talking to Ivy a few months ago, I was so excited because I was like, wow, and I don't even remember how we connected, but I think we have a mutual group that we're in.
But group member, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I need you to come and speak to my people, because this is like, this is such a huge topic over and over again. And, the thinking we're going to change them and fix them and, whatever. So I know we're going to jump into all of that stuff and really help you get goals that you can walk away with and say, oh, I'm not going to fix them. I'm not going to make it, and have a little bit some reality checks. And I mean, especially you coming from both sides of it. I mean, better than anybody what that's like.
Well, they call that, in the 12-step area, they call you a double winner. When you're sober from your drug, and also sober like in terms of your relationships. But again, it's like an ongoing thing. I can get triggered by many different things, even though I have this. So it's always about remaining vigilant and how to stay resilient, through all all the changes, transitions in life.
Awesome, excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and everybody that came on to say hello. Thank you so much for coming and saying hello. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. I say that 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be coming on. And, normally it's about a half hour to an hour. So, oh, Michael said we say sober. Haven't heard double winner, but
he gets it.
Yeah. Michael knows. So come tomorrow and tell your friends, let everyone know we're going to be doing that in here on the page tomorrow. And we will look forward to seeing all of you. And again, if some of you are just watching this video as a recording, you can also put questions in here if you know ahead of time you're not going to make it to the tomorrow, and we will make sure that we answer those questions in the live interview as well. So thank you, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience, Stephanie.
Of course. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.